Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for some more Currie Cup action, something that we haven't had in a little while on this Kiwi Lads channel. We are ready though for this exciting round between the Western Province and the Sharks. We've also just seen an absolute thriller between the Bulls and the Cheetahs going down to the wire, but the Cheetahs in the end got themselves the victory, so they will actually at the moment sit in number one. But this is the table before that game did take place. That one is only just finished, but the Cheetahs, they will move into first ahead of the Sharks. This one, it's an interesting contest. The Western Province probably not picking up as many wins as many people would have been expecting for their Currie Cup season. And whereas you've got, the Sharks rather than the Bulls versus the Cheetahs. I got that round the wrong way just a little bit. The Sharks, they are going to be taking on the Western Province, though, in this matchup to try and extend themselves a little bit further up if they can get themselves this victory. Looking through at the Western Province side, plenty of players to watch out for. That loose forward trio of Engelbrecht, Tennyson, and also Diamani going to be a dangerous three in the back line. Lillian Zass on one side, Clayton Blomekis at fullback, and then also Zwelindaba. Hopefully I've said that correctly. He is out on the other wing with Chris Smith and also Ruanel or Cornell Smith, I should say, and Ruanel at number 13. Looking through at this Sharks side, Quincy Mona in the front row alongside Kieran Van Veeren and Carlos Sadie. Certainly strong at the front for the Sharks in this contest. Hiron Andrews and Gervran Robela, then Mboli, Betsy Butalese, and Notchia. It's pretty much a Sharks side from the South Sea Sharks of the URC. The backline, Cameron Wright and Kerwin Bosch is the 19 combo. Jansi van Rensburg in the midfield alongside Puitkaita, and then also Koch out on one wing and Thacker Abrahams at number 15 to watch out for. Looking through at previous form, as you can see here, the Sharks have been on a pretty good roll, beating the Bulls, beating the Pumas, the Cheetahs, the Griffins, and also the Lions most recently. That was the game on June 4th, so last weekend, getting themselves a very nice victory. Then for the Western Province, they've been a little bit up and down like a roller coaster, losing to the Cheetahs, then they got a win up against the Griffins, won against the Pumas, went downhill up against the Lions, and then had that tough fought game last week up against the Ariquas, in which they were defeated 38 points to 29. I'm looking forward to this game, though. I have missed my Currie Cup action. It has been a little while since we have been doing the Currie Cup on the channel. We've been doing URC finals. We have been doing all sorts on the channel. We're ready to go. What's a griffin? Says Crumpus. Depends on how you look at it. Like a griffin, there's a couple ways you can look at it. I'm just going to quickly Google because I think of a griffin as like a bird. I think it is a type of bird, if I'm not wrong. Also a type of dog, a Brussels griffin. I've got there. Yeah, it's kind of like a flying lion type thing. Flying lion body eagle thing. Best way of describing it, I guess. But it's a new team in the competition for the Currie Cup, which does make it very exciting indeed. Doesn't look like Cape Town Stadium as full as it was for the Munster game. Looks like they might have maybe 5,000 in attendance if they are lucky for this contest, but it's still going to be a great game. Hopefully these two sides really step up. The Western Province, always an entertaining side to watch, even though they have been struggling a little bit throughout this Carling Currie Cup. I would assume now that they've got a few players maybe returning back into their side, they'll be really trying to build up that depth, get those young players moving up in the ranks. We have recently seen the Springboks. They have announced their Rugby Championship training squad. Some good names in there, but still opportunity for perhaps injury cover of a few of these youngsters before we get into the World Cup period. But Thacker Abrahams out on the wing. He's going to be one to watch out for. Pepsi Butalese as well. The Sharks captain at number 7. He was the under-20 captain and then just kept on going from strength to strength. That young man got a bright future ahead of him, that is for sure. The Sharks out there on the field now, waiting for the Western Province, and then we are underway. I should mention it is 3:05 a.m. here in New Zealand. We decided to stay up late for this contest. There was the option of going to bed, waking up early tomorrow for our recording session with George. We decided we're going to do both. And where do these Griffins live? You're asking all the questions, Crumpus, that I do not know the answers of. I don't actually know whereabouts in South Africa this Griffin side is from. I thought they had pretty much everywhere covered. But, yeah, I haven't actually seen what the first part of the name, like we've got the Natal Sharks, the Western Province, of course, Free State Cheetahs. Where are the Griffins from? That's going to be another good question. They will need Google. It will be Paul Menti in charge of this one. This is a bad matchup for our mates. Says Flesh in there. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game for the Western Province. The Cheetahs have just taken the lead, though, in the Currie Cup table. The Sharks will be looking to fire back in this contest, make the most of it, and try and really cement themselves as number one. And, of course, we should mention that if they cement themselves as that number one spot, they will then be able to build towards those semi-final matchups that we'll have just around the corner. Let's go, says Blues Nate. As well, but we are now underway. It will be Bosch to kick us off for the first Currie Cup action on the channel since about round 7 or so, I believe it is. Oh, so they're from Northern Free State. And welcome, says Josh Pike. Thank you very much, mate, for letting us know. I was always confused when looking at the Currie Cup because I didn't really understand the part where they added the new team in terms of I wasn't sure whereabouts they had come from or who they were really replacing. A good kick, I just heard from someone. He's very happy with it. So now kick downfield from the Western Province, line out throw for the Sharks. Go to Sharks, get us a home semi and a final. There's Josh Pike there. Yeah, if they are first in this contest, do finish with more points on the board, they will have those home finals. And Free State Province says Fleshin. I mean, the actual animal griffin, where do they live? Oh, you ask them whether or not they're on the ground or in the sky because they have the wings and the legs. I can see what you're saying. It's like a bird. Does it live in a tree or does it live in a hole? The kiwi from New Zealand, it lives in a hole. I think that's why the stoats and whatnot, the right pain in the ass because they try and just get in there, eat them little kiwis. And I mean, what are they going to do? They got a beak. That's about it. They can't even swing it. Back to the left-hand side now for the Sharks. Cameron Wright waiting for this one into the pocket, going to Kerwin Bosch. He puts height on that one. And Griffin is a vulture, says Joss. And we'll be at the semi, says Rooster. And let's go the Sharks, says Rooster there. And the town's name is welcome. The Afrikaans name for welcome, says Joss. And on the side of old buildings. True, they got those ones that are made out of stone, don't they? Now Clayton Lumikis kicks it downfield. He is a man that I'm very glad to see out there on the field. I thought he was a little bit unlucky for the Stormers. They didn't give him many games up until the finals, and then they were like, hey, you know how we kind of ditched you from the side. Now we want you back, and we want you to try and win us the game. So I feel like he had a little bit too much weight on his shoulders with that kind of responsibility. Now, currently 2 minutes into this contest. Western Province now with the line-out throw here again, 2 minutes in. Still relatively early in this matchup. Nicely claimed there for Western Province, and now looking to get this rolling maul going. Robbela's at an awkward angle there. His arm looked like it did a full 360, which is not really what you want. A big wide 360 is fine, but when you got your elbow bending, that's when the trouble starts. Kenneth van Vieren gets pushed out of the way. Now Masimla going back across to the captain, Johan Nillingfush. Yeah, and they do get themselves the early penalty here, the Western Province. Not rolling away from Noche. He's been penalised for it. We'll go like this. Looking at the odds for this game. So the Sharks, yeah, as expected, they are supposed to win this game, which you would expect for a side that have been sitting very well on the table throughout the regular season. Looks like they will actually be taking on the 3 points here, the Western Province. Rather than going aggressive, Hamish made out of stone. 3 a.m. to Livestream Currie Cup game. Give that man a bell, said Rooster there. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a decision I will possibly regret tomorrow because tomorrow is today. But the plan at this stage is to do this game, head to bed, wake up in about 4 hours' time. Then me and George are filming for, I think we've got about a 3 or a 4 hour filming session today. And then from there, stay up till the World Test Championship final, which starts at 9:30 p.m. New Zealand time and has the potential of finishing at about 5 a.m. Cover that, then sleep, go to work on Monday. That's a great kick. That will be the 3 points on the board now for the Western Province. They have got themselves the early read, or early lead, I should say. Mathieu in that one well. A few of these other players, I'll be honest, I haven't heard of some of these blokes, but I feel like that is quite fun because that's kind of how we started our Currie Cup journey. It was learning all the players again that we didn't know prior. And that's how we started to learn the likes of I mean, there's plenty of examples in this game. Notchia, Gervin Hrubela, Iron Andrews. I'm just looking through the Sharks forward pack at the moment. Pepsi Butalazy, who was a player who I hadn't really heard of till we started covering the Carling Currie Cup. Now, rolling this one back, it will be Godlin Masimla. It's the ball high now from just outside of the 22. Close to the touch line. Thika Abrahams pushed into touch. Oh, that looked like an ugly challenge there. But I think Lillian Zuss able to push him into touch. Now creates a line-out opportunity again. And throughout the table, the Sharks are sitting in second at the moment, the Western Province. On the live table, they would actually move up to fifth. So that is as high as they can be. That won't end up in the top four. One moment. We're going to go like this, and we're going to go like this. Yeah, so it's only the top four you get to go through. It's really just playing for pride at the moment for the Western Province this game. It's more of the question of will the Sharks finish in first or will they finish in second behind the Cheetahs. Now Vinnercock kicks it down the middle of the park. Nicely taken inside of the 22 by Lillian. Zas goes back across to his fly half. Does get an almighty boot downfield. Thaka Abraham's taken nicely. Goes to Kerwin-Bosch, who returns fire. That one didn't look like it quite went where he wanted it to. Latham Blomikis waiting for this one at the back. Kicks it in behind. Back to Abrahams again, who now backs himself to go down the right-hand side of the park. Wrestled towards the touchline by Ruan Nell. Player who maybe, if they do have an injury in that centre pairing, could end up finding himself in a Springbok kit. I don't know. I feel like he's been consistent enough. It's just the question of has he had any outstanding performances that make you go, yeah, he's going to be able to win us a big game. I've got a Grant. Says Fleshin. Where's Grant? Tell Grant. Well, Grant, I see Grant all the time, but make sure he knows that mangoes are my favourite fruit. It's become the gist of our relationship at this stage, is just me telling him I like mangoes and him saying he hates them. Had a mango before this live stream, can confirm it was not great. I don't think it was ripe enough, but then it was probably one of those ones that I couldn't afford to let it ripen for too much longer, or else it would have started to get real squelchy. Now, Godlin Masimla going across again. Nice attack and run forward from Cornell Smith. Simla trying to find that early ball off to the forwards, making those couple extra meters. They are doing decently so far, the Western Province. They've had a majority of the position that passes forward by about 2 meters. And now they have got the option of either the line out here or maybe going for the scrum. I think the Sharks might back themselves for a scrum here, just to see how they match up. Although the easier option probably the line out, because Gerber Grubbler's arms are about 14 meters long. And that looks like that's what they're going to do. Bosch playing 10 for this contest. Kiran Fanferin, he's another one who, once again, I feel like he's the fourth choice hooker at the moment for the South Africans. Unless there's someone else who I'm forgetting, I probably still, with consistency-wise, you probably have him above Joseph Weber for his line-out throw, but I know that that's not really why Weber was selected. More of his running game, of course. Now Cameron Wright waiting for this ball to roll back. Have done, says Fleshin. Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll see an angry Grant very soon then. Ball's gone high from Cameron Wright. Waiting for this one to come down. Nice take from Lillian Zuss. Now, step from Clayton Blomikis. Starts to find a gap here in the South African backline of the Sharks. I almost called them the Cell C Sharks, but that's the wrong sponsor. Now, good carry. Forward for the Western Province again. Cut out pass to Clayton Blomikis. Forward pass to Ruan now. Now on the inside to Godlin Masimla. Has dropped the ball backwards, but they are going to be going back for the original forward pass. No, they're actually going to be going for the knock on in the 22. They did not see that one. It does seem. That's not the end of the world, of course. There was still scrum in the end. How forward was this from Blomikis? Yeah, about a half meter or so. And it was the knock on from Godlin Masimla. End up stopping the momentum. Who do we think is going to be the first try scorer in this match? I feel like at the moment, the Western Province, one of their players want to be a bad shout, but I feel like it's going to be like a ball out wide where Werner Koch just charges at the line. causes problems. Maybe Thacker Abrahams can join the back line. Rush up, put them under more pressure. Pack weights, wow. About a 60 kg advantage for the Sharks. If I went on like quite an extreme diet, that would be a me that the Western Province do not have. Cameron Wright feeds the ball in now for the Sharks. The scrum, very sturdy. No one moving really an inch. Now it does go down in the front rows, but the ball was already loose. And out the back for Kerwin Bosch to be able to kick down the middle of the field. Now collecting Lumikis. Standing next to him, charges at the line. Nice step there, finds his offload away to Cornell Smith. Lalian Zas hits it up at Bully, who was offside. So the penalty advantage now in favour of the Western Province. Similar again, back across to the right-hand side. Good step there from Andre Hugo Fenta. Similar. On across again. It's going to be an awkward tackle on Cornell Smith. He had one man on his legs, one man on his hands. They were swinging him like he was on one of those bloody, what is it called? I'm going to have to remember the word, but it's that one, you know how you hang one end from a tree and the other end from a tree? And it swings and it's like a holiday thing. Why can I not remember this word? Maybe because it is 3:15 in the morning. A hammock. They've got him up and they were swinging him like a hammock. And he's still in the washing and sticking pins into the Gareth Shark dolls. There's flesh in. It looks like Western Province, once again, they get themselves another penalty. So they will go for the 3 points. Bloody hammock, eh? Couldn't think hammock, says Liam, yet. Yeah, it came to me eventually. It took a little while, though, to get from one side of my brain to the other, didn't it? Now lining up this kick again. Matia, another chance. This one over, and he does. That now makes the score 6-0 in favour of the Western Province. They've started this match very well, compared with the fact that they are currently sitting in about 7th place on the overall table. But if they win this game, they will actually finish 5th in the overall standings. So that would be a pretty big achievement. Brumbies versus the Canes, the ball was held up. And my eyes on the final action, says Connor Cahill. I mean, to be fair, before that Reds versus Chiefs game, you were saying that you found most of the games a bit rough in Super Rugby because you felt like they weren't, like, there weren't enough. What was the comment? It was either there wasn't enough feeling or they weren't just close enough. Like normally they were one-sided affairs. And you got 2 games worth almost back-to-back. Luckily, there was that Crusaders one in between to split it up. But yeah, 2 very good games of Super Rugby. Number similar. Need to put this ball high. We're about 23 metres out from his own line. So this one isn't able to go into touch on the full, and that is a brilliant take there from Tucker Abrahams. That's going to just stay in the field of play from Jansi van Rensburg. Now slings it right across to Kerwin Bosch. Do they decide, oh, Bosch has dropped it, and it's gone back into the hands now of the Stormers. Willie Engelbrecht now quick hands. Diamani gets it on the outside. Clayton Blomiki's overrun it. Yeah, I thought the other matches were so disappointing. Brumbies versus Canes was a perfect example of a match done right. Although Reds versus Chiefs, you'd have to say, was a pretty decent matchup as well, wouldn't you? Like, Fijian draw Crusaders, I think, was disappointing, mainly because I think the hype was there for the Fijian draw to do well, but unfortunately, coming up against the Crusaders side who lost last week is never going to be fun for anyone. And unfortunately, the Fijian draw, they were the sacrificial lamb in that scenario because the Crusaders in a quarterfinal, no matter who they were playing, they were going to be putting a lot of points on them after losing their last contest. But yeah, I thought Reds versus Chiefs game was overall pretty decent. Now currently 30, or in fact 42 metres out from their own line here now, the Sharks. Quite a few knock-ons early on in this contest, but that is to be expected with the pace that they are playing. And Artie's own hand under the ball, says Nate there. Yeah, it was one of those ones that just before he almost scored the try, I said, you've got to make sure it's clear and conclusive. You're getting that ball down because if it's held up, it's the end of the game. And then I think it was 2 phases later, Artie Savia held up into the game. Like, you wonder what would have happened if they just shifted it wide. Get it a bit more of a one-on-one rather than trying to charge through a big forward pack. They're all waiting for you to straighten with your run. Number similar. Going off to the left-hand side here. No, in fact, he goes to the man straight behind the breakdown to Matea. Now, nice attack and run from Cornell Smith. Finds the offload away to Matea again. Now, Ruben van Heeren. Moving up quite nicely. Tackled by Quincy Mona. Kicked him behind from Matea. And it's going to sit up. Oh, it's an awkward juggling one, I think. Who was that? Was that Marcel Tennyson with that ball? I believe it was. And I was like, Sharks. Now, I know the Bulls. I know the WP for the Western Province. Now I've got to work out the rest. My Afrikaans is pretty bad, Sharks, unfortunately. I'm going to say that he's either saying, I like the Bulls, Western Province, not my team, or he's saying, Western Province, my team, I don't like the Bulls. One of those two. I will admit Chiefs versus Reds was a bit close, but at the home of the momentum setters, it was a big ask for Queensland. Yeah, and I thought Queensland really stepped up to the task in that game because at the end of the day, like they had beaten the Chiefs on New Zealand soil before. They were the only team to do so in the whole of the Super Rugby Pacific competition. That's a loose ball now for the Western Province. All they need to do is grab her and forward and it sits up, and it will be the try now for Ben Jason Dixon. Western Province have started this match well, haven't they? It's going to be 11 points to nil over the second place team in the Sharks. I used that energy of the AB's jersey, Artie Savia. The Satyrs showed us how to beat Fiji in the World Cup. I play them in the freezer, says Fleshin. True, unlucky us, says Nate. And Liam has got the sad face. So I would assume you're going for the Sharks, Liam, at a guess. They'll be back. They normally are. They're one of those sides that, I mean, the Currie Cup, I think you could say it in general, it's one of those competitions that no side's really out of a contest because there are so many high-scoring affairs. Let's have a look at the Sharks' most recent games. Like, they beat the Lions 29 points to 21, beat the Cheetahs 35 points to 23, 41 points to 27 win over the Bulls. Pumas, they were able to beat 24 points to 22. So just because those first points have come for the Western Province doesn't mean that they will be the only team scoring points throughout this fixture. There's going to be plenty more available out on the field, Liam. In fact, I'm going to make a promise to you that I feel like would be a silly promise to make just in case, but I'm going to say the Sharks score the next try in the game. And if they don't, I don't really know. I'm just assuming that they will be. And the most entertaining part of that decision was Savio trying to con the referee with the last word. That was grounded. The referee acted like he didn't exist. But that's just because it's Nick Berry, and he's got about the worst hearing in world rugby anyway. And he's had probably the most hearings out of referees for his bad decisions. So it's one of those ones that he's not the referee you'd want in that scenario, I would have to say. But at the end of the day, the on-field decision is so important, which is why I can understand that Savio was like, hey, mate, I might have had that one down because at the end of the day, they needed that clear, conclusive evidence either way, and they didn't get it. Well, the Brumbies got it. And also, if only says Flesh and let's go, says Blues Nate. Only sitting 13 points to nil. Western Province would move up into fifth if this was the result. They would go ahead of the Lions for the overall standings. Although if they do lose this game, the Western Province, they will finish in seventh, I believe it would be. In fact, they would finish a little bit lower. Oh, Werner Koch has been cleaned up. Unfortunately, slipping into the challenge, Kieran van Fedden takes the ball very nicely for the Sharks. Tries to get that rolling forward, and the penalty goes the way of the Sharks. Oh, if they take the 3 points, I should have just said that they'd get the next 3 or the next points on the board rather than the next try. So Kerwin Bosch got this one in his hands. He can do either. He can either kick it for the touchline or, they're going for the corner. I made a promise to you, Liam, and I'm hoping that they stick with it. It's already 18 minutes into this game. That's gone like that. I think it's because it is so late at night and I'm in that rambling mood. And any points that the Sharks will do, says Liam. Well, it looks like they're going for the 5, maybe 7 if they can get the conversion over there. 15 metres or maybe a little bit closer, about 12 metres out from the line now. See how they go. We have a local derby against 2 top teams in Boland happening now. Field are packed, but I won't miss your commentary. Always excellent. Thank you so much, says Martha. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated you being here. We are going to be back for some more Currie Cup action for the semi-finals when they do take place. We will be covering them. I feel like Currie Cup's one of those competitions that has unfortunately happened alongside our other schedule of doing the URC and doing other matches around the world that have then meant that we haven't been able to cover as much of the Currie Cup as I would have liked. But yeah, we're going to make sure that we do a couple more of the games before the end of the competition. I think I spilt water down my pants. Hope it's water anyway. That was a knock on from Hiron Andrews. That wasn't part of the plan for the Sharks, I can tell you that much. Cameron Wright, straight into the chest, which is normally the nice easy take. Definitely for a lock because he's used to catching it about there for lineouts, but ball just didn't stick. And now it is going to be a scrum feed in favour of the Western Province, who still find themselves about 10 metres out from their own line, so not exactly hugely up the field. Still probably looking for the clearing kick, I would think, at the end of the scrum. They do end up winning it. They've got that 60 kg disadvantage, though. Makes it tricky. Hi, says Amelia K. Welcome in. You are doing very well. I'm streaming the game on our Discord server, Hamish says Grant. I saw that there was a random notification that I got saying that something was happening. Huh. There you go. I'm going to click it and hope that nothing goes boom. Hey, I can hear myself. How do I stop watching? There we go. I disconnected. I'll join that again after the stream, I think. Can I show my face on there, Grant? Is that how that works? Can that be like a family group chat? Hello, this is Amelia. It's late night. You, Amelia, I believe. If I'm not wrong, in Aussie. You guys must be sitting at about 1:30 a.m. or somewhere around there. Clear dominance. There's a ref. He doesn't want any of that. He wants a nice, even scrum. Okay, so the Sharks would end up against the Pumas in the semi-final, or if they win this game, or they go head-to-head with the Bulls. That is a big match. It's kind of a match that a lot of people would want to see for the final, though. Something like that, says Grant. And if the Brumbies win the Super Rugby, I'll buy their jersey, says Amelia. Have you got your Highlanders one yet, Amelia, that you were looking for, or have you still not quite been able to find that one? Now, Godlem Simler has that ball at the back of the scrum. It's going to be the advantage. That works well for the Western Province, as they will now be able to work their way further up the field. A mate of mine said he's going to save me some money and just buy me the Highlanders jersey as a birthday gift. Amelia, that's very nice of him. Come on, the Sharks, says Marthinus. Yeah, they're currently 13 down. But to know anything about the Sharks side, it is that they are not out of this contest as of yet. I feel like they will still be able to really throw plenty at them. I'm streaming the game on Discord and listening to your commentary from the sounds of Fleshen's PC. So is that, wait, so you were there, Fleshen was there, but his mic was not muted? Is that how that worked? Because my birthday is like 2 months, so hence why. However, I want to wear the jersey on occasions. Well, I have to wear the jersey on occasion, says Amelia. I have got a kit in a bag at the moment from Kerr, but I always made the rule that I won't open the packages unless he's on the stream. We haven't seen him today. So I'm just eagerly awaiting for the opportunity to open it, although it might bring back some PTSD because I think it's a Canes kit and they just lost. So that might be a bit of a tough pill to swallow for that one. I'll still wear the Canes kit though because it is extremely nice. Love the bright yellow, just like a mango, Grant? Now, it's like Cameron Wright going to be rolling this ball back for the Sharks. Just inside of their own half here. We're going to put that ball high. It's a bit of a slip and slide on his way down. Big high boot. Nicely taken there. So, I guess big question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Where has this Martier? Have I said this name correctly? The number 10, Yuri. Where has Yuri come from? I have not heard of him before. And good morning to you, sir. I'm going to the Storm game today, says Amelia K. And Kerr, where are you? When I opened the package. There's Blues Nate. Tell you what, Abrahams has just been wrestled down to the turf there. Manages to bounce out the side, but it's on the side of the Western Province again here. Now Matia. Ball on the outside to collect them Lomikis. Oh, that one sits up for Vernacock. Hey, Hamish, go to the Western Province having a beer on you. I have my teammate, says Jalabi. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. It's quite nice being back for the Currie Cup. Been a competition I've been missing. Like, I've only been catching short clips, little highlights. Feels good to have a full game to be able to cover on the channel. Now, quick throw taken by Clayton Blomekes goes to Lillian Zass. Now, big shot on him by Bully. And are you bloody hell? Did you hear me swearing at Thin Lizzy? She's flishing. I got my live out. I got to live out my Phantom of the Opera dream today. I played a version of Phantom of the Opera on Roblox. Says Amelia K. It is a game that I think I played twice, and it was a GTA game. And then I realized I had GTA, so I played GTA. I was relatively happy. Oh, that's gone through the hands of the Western Province. Matia, great ball off now to Alistair Vermaak. Advantage for offside. Fenta wrestled down now. It seems like the Western Province are right on the verge of getting another try, which is not good news because I promised Liam that the next points would go the way of the Sharks. Or the next try, I said. They're Clayton Blomekes. That's a knock on from Lillian Zass. A little bit of a tip tackle there as well. And we'll go back for the original penalty. Still in favour of the Western Province. They might sit here with 16 points to nil. And Aaron dragging his knob across the keyboard. Says Sebastian. Don't we all at 3:30 a.m.? We don't, I should mention. You guys can't see my keyboard, so I had to clarify. But if you just hear a random, like, hang on, what happened there? Why is it a try? Okay, Marcel Tennyson just scored a try for the Western Province. I wasn't watching, but they took a quick tap. Bang, over the try line. They even used audio files from the Broadway production, says Amelia K. Yeah, nice work here from the Western Province. This is an extremely one-sided affair. 26 minutes in, 18 points to nil for the Western Province. You'd be a Western Province boy, wouldn't you, Grant? Because of the Stormers, I assume you're same region for that. Gareth's a Sharks man. Luckily for Gareth, though, we haven't seen too much of Gareth at all. In fact, I think he's been hiding, which is probably fair enough for this one. Norm Lewis and Sierra. Oh yes, with a Phantom and Christine from what I'm. Right, Yuri, Matia now lining up this one. This might be 20 points to nil after 27 minutes. I'll take that. Hello, Seb, how's things in the north? He's flashing. And that kick is successful. That will now make the score 20 points to nil for the Western Province. Now, the Sharks need to find some points here in this first half, or else she could end up being extremely one-sided. Sebastian saying, I have a keyboard. Actually, I have a phone, not a computer. Although, your phone still has a keyboard, doesn't it? It's just not a physical keyboard. It's the virtual kind. Makes it easier to go over it with your not. Yeah, no, never mind. Less area, you know. Big love. Unless you got like one of those real big iPads that are always tricky. And Norm Lewis is doing Love Never Dies in concert in August. I know I'm going to get up early for it because it's in London. It's going to be worth it. And big love, Nate. I'm in a weird mood because I'm thinking about getting up for the PGA Tour to watch it. I haven't watched any golf in like ages, but for some reason I saw it's on at 3 a.m. the other day, and I was thinking, maybe worth the crack. I'm truly embarrassed, Sharks. Please, you need to step up and stop trying to win the games from behind. Yeah, see, there's trying to win the games from behind, and then there's being down by 20, isn't there? And they need something in this first half, or else they're going to be in some real trouble. Like, they've got the talent. Looking through at their four-pack, I actually thought that they had a slight advantage, and their backline's not looking too bad either, but Western Province just picking them apart at the moment throughout the first little while. Big shot on Pepsi Buta lazy there by Clayton Blomekes. Now from inside of the 22. Kicking it downfield, nicely taken. Here comes Thaka Abrahams. Goes for the kick behind instead, looking for the 50. 22. Got a little bit too much of it. Clayton Blomekes slips over. What's weird is every time I repost Joe Spitterman's post on Instagram onto my story, I won't even tag him and he'll see it. Says Amelia K. Playing a knock-on advantage here for the Western Province. Onto the left-hand side. Be the try scorer, Ben Jason Dixon, or one of the try scorers. Well, the Western Province, off topic, maybe, but let's not forget that that win, the Cheetahs win the Currie Cup in the World Cup years, South Africa won the tournament. Oh, so you're saying there's a little bit of, maybe a little bit of added pressure for the Cheetahs? Because if they don't go through, who knows? I still feel like South Africa, they've got to be up there in this World Cup, don't they? Like the fact that they're going to have to play either France or Ireland, I think it, or sorry, France or New Zealand in their quarterfinal fixture is a bit rough. I'd like to see those sides spread out a bit more, but yeah, she's going to be a tough one, that is for sure. And also, we have got there down by 20 points in Cape Town. Is his big ask, or is a big ask to ask for from the Sharks? Blumicky's now going with the little kick of mine. Kid and Van Veeren does get a touch on that ball. So now the Western Province have got themselves another line out. So the ladies with mangoes, I want every single detail, brother, says Sebastian. That was just because I quite like a mango. And I had one earlier before the live stream. I actually indulged in a mango. Was a Peruvian one, so it wasn't as good because normally they don't quite sweeten as well. And also it was a little bit stringy in terms of my mango opinion. But I mean, it was still all right. There just wasn't much of it. I put the seed in a waste bin though. I should have put it in the garden to try and grow myself a mango tree. Even though I'm from New Zealand, so that normally doesn't work. Marina Hammy, come on, Sharky, get yourselves together and start attacking. They're on the week, or you're on the weak side. You can do it. And also, we have got there, to be honest, I find golf relaxing but boring. It's weird, isn't it? Because watching golf, I'm like, it's not great. It just makes me want to go out and actually try and play golf. I've noticed. Oh, this is a good question, ladies and gentlemen, that I hope more than me answers. What is a sport on TV that then you watch and you go, I want to go out and play that, and then sometimes do? That makes sense. So, like for me, if I watch like a golf tournament on TV, even if it's for like 2 minutes, I'll be like, right, I want to go out and play golf now. Or if I watch like a test match of cricket, I'm like, right, I want to go down to the nets. Maybe I'm just too easily persuaded. Maybe that's it. Have you seen my new hair? I did. I saw that it was bleach blonde. Does mini golf count? Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of putting and mini golf. You like mangoes, do you? So when you mention the words wife material, you're referring to the mango. I actually, believe it or not, I was, yeah. Oh, no. Well, the lady with the mango would be all right. Hey, covering the Cricket World Cup, mate. Once again, our amazing country. Won't be able to cover it on local TV, says Chalabi. So the World Cup, I'm not so sure. Mainly because I think it will overlap a little bit with the Rugby World Cup. But the Ashes, just around the corner, I am going to be covering that one on the channel. So there will be quite a few late night live streams that we have got, that we are doing. MMA says Fleshing. Like, so you watch MMA and then you go out. I guess you go to like a gym and kick like a bag or something, do you? Or do you literally go out and just challenge random people on the street? 82 minutes in at the moment, 20 points to nil for the Western Province. I feel like I'm like that with most sports though. Like if I see someone playing snooker on TV, then I'll go play pool. Or if I see someone, they're literally doing pretty much anything. If I see someone playing darts on the TV, I'll go, yeah, go give them a go. And Ash is back. Meanwhile, meaning my telly, we on all night. Cannot wait, says Amelia K. Yeah, she's going to be rough for the Kiwi and Aussie schedule. That is for sure. Because for me, I will end up in the scenario of, I'll be getting up at like I'll be going to bed at 5:30 or 6 a.m., waking up at around maybe midday, going to work for about 6 hours, and then coming home and then doing the next day, and then trying to catch up on sleep in between time. So it's going to be testing for the body. Plenty of hot chips will be consumed. Now, Cameron Wright feeding the ball in for the Sharks. They will go off to the right-hand side again here to Janse van Rensburg, taken down 40 metres out from the Western Province line. Cameron Wright digging around for that one. Managed to find it as well. Goes to Gurvara Rubala. And also legit are the only so named money I got this week is $20 because I've got to pay off $508 tuition fee for TAF because I want to get it out of the way. I have to pay for Netflix. Says Amelia. Okay. And actually, I have, I'd go back a day or back in the day, and it hurts, gave up, says Flesh. And that's the thing. I've always been a fan of like pro wrestling. I can't imagine doing it myself though, because like I swing a golf club and I break my back. So to be able to do more than that, pretty rough. The Ashes are nearly here. I'm afraid we are enemies for the next month, lass. Says Sebastian. I was meant to say spending, says Amelia. And all the Sharks key players playing today. I know they are already qualified for the semi-finals, says Marthinus. So this is the side that they've gone with. Like, it's not a, oops, that's the wrong team, sorry. Like, it's not a bad side. Like, their forward pack overall, like, yes, you could say there are a few gaps that they may be able to fill in. Of course, with the Springbok training squad, that's going to be in play at some stage soon. So that will mean that there are other players missing out. When I see darts on the telly, I just head to the pub and I might play a bit of darts, but I definitely have a pint. There's Sebastian. See, I always watch darts on TV and go, meh, all right, we'll give that a go. And then you throw it and you miss the board and you're like, okay, maybe I'm not quite as good as I remember. I once got almost 180 though. In fact, did I get 180? No, I might have got 140, just missing it. I don't remember. I know that we had a dartboard in our hallway for a while. That was actually quite good. And Hamish, how's it, mate? Says just go. Welcome in, mate. Oh, that's a drop ball there. Unfortunately for the Sharks, again, they just continue to make mistakes. Yeah, I'm doing very well, Carl. Have you seen, Carl? You are now a channel member. You got gifted one earlier on. We had a fellow who did end up buying 10 channel memberships. And because of it, it means that you were randomly selected to receive one of those memberships. So that's pretty cool. Other random selected, I think Ollie got one. I think Brandon got one. Gareth got one. He's not here though. I sold it on console last week. Cashy's ripped me off and I gave me $60 for it. Says Amelia Casey, that's the thing. Sometimes it's worth just waiting a little bit longer when it comes to selling things to try and get them for a bit of a higher price, you know, like on Facebook Marketplace. Whatnot, I tried experimenting with weird food combos, like plain salt chips and melted chocolate, and it's actually underrated and not bad. There's Amelia K. And oh, snap, I didn't even notice that. Thanks whoever sponsored the membership. I'm trying to, I know his name wasn't Simon, and I feel really bad, but he's the guy who holds the big picture of the fish. And the name has completely evaded me. It's not Simon, though. It is something. And Gareth is finally a member of the cheap bastards, says Sebastian. Nice charge there. Now off to the right-hand side, Masimla. Goes to Willie Engelbrecht. Oh, big shot on Hugo Fenta. I've been very busy lately, Amish. Excuse my absence. No, it's all good. Busy time of the year. Oh, that was awkward on Ruan Nell's ankles, but he's done not too badly. What is sleep, says Schlanger. I've been thinking that too. My eyes are not actually working at the moment. They're quite glazed over. Like a donut they are. That's a nice run there. I think that was Putgaita. Charging forward nicely. It was my old shite PS4 that got fixed recently, but considered I have my other PS4 and I bought in April, hence why I sold it, says Amelia. I remember when my Xbox blew up on Livestream. That was fun. That was a history-making moment on the channel. My eyes actually, I half by joked about it, but I can hardly see out one of them. Now off to Willie Engelbrecht. Going out to Diamani, the big man, for the corner. It's another try for the Western Province. And anything there, my guy, says Blues Nate. And it was my birthday yesterday as well, so I'm a bit hungover, still says Just Carl. I posted a picture on a private Discord of me and George from our getaway trip to Christchurch with the lads. And there's some interesting stuff that's going to be coming out in that vlog of us after a late night out. Happy belated birthday, Big Carl. The Sharks are known for this. I can't wait for the plum to start weeding out these clowns, says Barry. And asking people in Dundrum what they were doing later on. One person said there'll be an Ireland and South African team. I mean, no, I really want to go. And morning, Kiwi lads, just opened my eyes. My team I picked in front, sweet as, and they're not just in front by a little bit, they're in front by a lot. Legit, the only way I'll get cash is if I'll sell something. If something gives me cash because I'm too anxious to actually touch an ATM. Says Amelia, okay. Oh, Yuri. He's been told that he is allowed to take a couple more steps backwards. Now looking. Take on this kicker. It's a relatively tricky one as well for him, but he's normally a pretty decent kicker overall, Yuri, from what I've seen already. And it's missed. I may have slightly jinxed that man. And I'm off down to the pub, but I'll keep the stream going. Says Flesh, appreciate it, mate. Hopefully you have a good one at the pub. Hopefully you find a couple mangoes along the way. I said, and someone back in March got mad at me because I didn't know how to use an ATM. I mean, to be fair, when I got money out for my trip to Christchurch, I had to have my dad with me. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I went in there and it was like in increments of 10. And I was like, I don't want to hold for $10 notes. So I got three to test it to see if it would give me a 20 and a 10, and it gave me three tens. And I was like, I don't want a whole heap of tens. Definitely not when you want a little bit more than 30. So then, yeah, it was just the fact that it was like you can have increments of 10, but when it gets to bigger numbers, they will give you bigger notes. And my mum is teaching me how to use an ATM in a few weeks because she is hell bent on saving to get my tattoos done. There's Amelia K and watched Canes last night. Well held up. What do you reckon, Amy? Yeah, it was unlucky. But I said it just before it was the case of going upstairs about 2 or 3 phases before. And I said they need to make sure it's clear and conclusive that they've scored this because if it's not, she's over. And it was over, unfortunately, for them. There's a YouTuber whose name is Ven Von 25 Church, the team. Is Adam TNT? Oh, that's a good mark call from Clayton Blomikis. A little bit wet underfoot at the moment for this game, but it's sitting 25 points to nil in favour of the home side. And also might be a quick one and at the Irish Lodge, depending who's in, says Fleshin. Yes, a good mark taken. Is that the halftime siren? Did I just hear? Yep, it has been put into touch. And the score at the moment, 25 points to nil in favour of the Western Province. This has been a very good performance from them so far. And you'd have to say they haven't really done too much wrong at all. Can't think of a huge amount anyway that they could have done any differently. That first half, the Sharks, there's a lot that they could have improved on. But we do just have to wait for the second half to get back underway. What artwork are you thinking of getting, Amelia? Says Sebastian, give the Sharks some water. I'm going to lose a bet. Embarrassing start swimming, Sharks. Says Marthinus. And live chat top messages 53, 25 nil. Sharks match odds to go. Says Adam TNT. Don't want to think of alcohol right now, says Just Car. Well, while you are on this live stream, to make you forget about it, I'm going to show a quick screenshot of one of the videos that we had on our trip out. This will be involved in the vlog that comes out hopefully within the next couple of weeks, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we had a lot of fun all throughout the weekend with the boys. It was myself, George, Daniel, Daniel's girlfriend, Isaac, and Isaac's girlfriend. And we all spent a little bit of time out and about, not too much big stuff, I'd have to say. As it's on Flow Rugby, says Schlanger. I'm not sure. I think it might just be on Sky in New Zealand and maybe the other side of things, which is Super Sport, I think. I'm having an extra large pepperoni pizza. It's weird. I'm so tempted to get pizza tomorrow, but now I've learned that me and George, I don't think we're going up the road. Instead, we are going to be going, or we're going to be doing the recording first and then seeing how it's going. Is that a thumbnail? Says Just Carl. It is not. That is just a screenshot of something that happens in the video. As this has said, you look hot, Hammy, says Spider Mick. Now, Spider Mick, this is an interesting scenario because first of all, I need to know how old your sister is before I make any kind of comment. Also, we have got, once again, Adam has found all the buttons on his keyboard, making sure that they're working, on his phone. Which means he's gone through that little bit more effort to go all the way across. And also, we have got there, don't mention it, my guy. And ow, she just cuffed my head. Cuff. What's cuff? As in, like, hit you with a pair of handcuffs? Cuffed your head. Does that mean she like put one around your neck region? Pizza and alcohol plus tits and tats. Let's go, just Carl. Hamish likes them 60 plus small. Hamish likes them 60 plus with small children. Says Grant. No, that's not quite me. Not quite me type, Grant. I don't think. What's tits and tat? Says just Carl. There we go. US Open starts Friday, 3 a.m. She's 19. Says Spider Mix. See, I hope you're not lying in that case. Cheers. You guys are up north though, so that's a wee way away, isn't it? I'm just a small town boy. That's not just a small town girl's the comment in the song, isn't it? Just a city boy, but I'm not a city boy. And that's not what you said about the bowling alley, aunt. Nah, she wants 60. She was like 35 max. Okay. So let's just make sure we got that straight first. And Cup 55 with small children. Says Adam TNT. Why am I watching naked people in the in the Alps? It's an ad that they've got here in New Zealand. Strange. There's a guy who was trying to fish with his peanut. No, never mind. Oh, you might have. No, no. The referee has been bad, says Benjamin Moore. Although the Sharks, even with if the referee has been poor, which I mean, there's been quite a few harsh penalties overall, but still, they haven't quite been able to get themselves into this game here, the Sharks. Do you still work at the bowling alley? I don't. So there was a bit of a weird scenario that went down, which was I went down there and I had a chat with the boss, and we both kind of worked out that I was originally going to be pretty much there as a filmographer or like videographer, doing a few little ads for them and whatnot that they could put on their social medias. And for some reason, that ended up with me working at the actual counter for the bowling alley. So after like 3 or 4 weeks, we kind of both sat there and we were like, that wasn't really the job, was it? That I was supposed to be doing. But then also I got sick for a week because I got a cold from being down there. And then they said that they were a bit worried that also I may be unreliable because I got sick from being at that place. So I was like, nah, it's all right. Bloke found an alternative for a fishing rod worm, did he? Sebastian, there's a guy with no new minds. Also, Sharks are buns. Don't blame the ref, says just Carl. But yeah, 25 points to nil at the moment at halftime in this fixture. So, but one-sided, you would have to say. A little bit. Like, we did a lot while we were up the road. I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to fit it all into one vlog. Because ideally, I wouldn't want it too much longer than 15 minutes. But I feel like it could easily, like at the moment, I've got it about an hour and 20 minutes that I've got to try and cut down. There's just so much to see and do. And we did it all over about a 24-hour period, which was pretty tiring. By the time I got home, I was just half asleep. Luckily, Daniel was a little bit more awake because he was driving, but he was also probably about maybe 3/5 asleep. So he did well to get us home. Let's go to the Western Province, says John. So the Sharks are throwing the game away on purpose. You think that they want to? Well, that's the thing. If they win this game, they play the Bulls. If they lose this game, they will end up in the scenario of playing the Cheetahs. No, that's a lie. They will be playing. Who are they playing? Wouldn't be the Cheetahs, though. The other team. Not the Requas. My brain's gone blank. We'll have to look at this table quickly. There they are, the Pumas. So, yeah, it would be an interesting scenario. But this table I don't think is correct at the moment. Theoretically. Or is it? Yeah, the Bulls, I think their points differential is actually better. So that's why they're a little bit further ahead. As they were within 7. I put the uncut version of the vlog on Patreon. Says just Carl. Maybe. I mean, there might be a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that gets randomly stuck somewhere in the future. The tits and tats with small children. They're a guy with nani minds. Do you still work at Lady with tits and tats? Says Adam. And also the Pumas says Benjamin and Pumas says Roosters. And also, hey, my Golden Lions doing well, says Amelia K, although they are now out of the top 4, sadly. Just a little bit further down in the rankings. But anyone who is new to the channel, I should mention, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got plenty more Currie Cup action coming to you guys in the near future. Currently, there is a test match going on as well between Australia and India. There was the first wicket at the time that I stopped watching it, and that was actually a controversial one. It was Shipman Gill. He ended up being dismissed, unfortunately, and it was one where Cameron Green, he caught the ball, but they thought maybe a finger could have ended up putting the ball on the ground, but either way, the wicket stood. And currently, India, they are sitting 109 for 3. Who's out? That's the big question. Pujara will be at the crease. Well, no, he's not. They got Pujara out. That is a big wicket to get. So at the moment, it's Virat Kohli and also Rahane, two men who can bat for a very long time. So anyway, did you lads go to the prostitutes in Christchurch? Chlamydia Safari, as I like to call it? No, we didn't in the end. We went to the Uber Eats scenario on our phones, and we got I think we had 6 orders arriving around the same time, or I think it might have been 5. And one of them was just a Kit Kat because Daniel's girlfriend, she was like half asleep, but also she was drunk. So she was like, oh, Kit Kat. So then somehow my credit card got connected to Uber Eats, and I ended up with M&M's, Kit Kats, Powerades, and a big beef fried noodles for George with a side of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. So we had a lot on the go. I hope my prediction is bang on. I had a Rumbies and a Blues final, $100 bet. Says Spider-Mick, and how long did this competition go on, Hammy? So this one has been going for a little while. It is actually up to round 14. So semi-finals just around the corner. And when is the Rugby Championship starting from Carl a little bit earlier on? The next one, well, the first game I think is on about the 7th of July, somewhere around there. At those kind of early-ish stages of July, though. Very honourable of you, Alexis Controller, to honour my, or any Xbox controller, honour my late father. I was like, Hamish, you think a draw or Aussie win? Draw or Aussie win? Aussie win. Draw or Aussie win? Oh, for the cricket. Sorry, my brain went to sleep there, Rooster. I almost had to get one of those jump starters to kick it back into gear. I mean, I would say it's a lot of balls to face, but Virat Kohli, he can certainly bat for a long time. They did well to get Rohit Sharma out when they did because he would have been trouble. The ball that they had first of all just didn't look like it was doing anything, though. So, it's still over 100 overs that they will have to face. I'm going to say the Aussies win, but I think India are going to put up a pretty valiant effort, and we're actually hoping to cover day 5 on the channel. So hopefully it sets up so that all 3 results are possible. Probably a short competition this year. There's just Carl. Yeah, they have only got 1 round versing each of the teams rather than the 2. And also, I don't really keep up to date with the Currie Cup because I don't know where to watch it in Australia. There's Amelia K. It could be Grant. Is that not a koala? That's a weird. The weird part is, though, Daniel at one point during the night, it was when we were at a Mexican restaurant. He was like, did you get chlamydia off a koala, Hamish? And I was like, when would I have touched a koala, Daniel? And he was also a little bit bevy heavy, if you know what I'm saying. That's a saying that's not a thing, but now I kind of want to make it a thing. Bevy heavy, eh? It doesn't sound great, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Could it be a saying, ladies and gents? Let's get bevy heavy. Maybe it's just like a 4 a.m. thing, but I feel bevy heavy. I think I'm only bevy heavy from water, though. Sometimes water is just so good, though. When you got either a dry throat or you've been like sitting around for a while, just chilling out, and then you drink that water and it's just absolutely fantastic. Just happened. Now the second half underway. Off by the Western Province, taken by Thacker Abrahams, who's nailed in that one. Okay. So we have now decided that Hamish got chlamydia from a koala. No. And also, Daniel, as a point you showed, just You showed yourself the picture of you with the koala when you were a younger lad. I forgot I showed you that picture. I don't know if I'm happy about it. Oh, I have a fun fact. Apparently, my hard drive that I set up north is not like it was completely destroyed pretty much, but they managed to regain all of my footage and everything that I had on that hard drive. But the biggest thing now is trying to get it back to New Zealand without it getting lost in the mail. But if it does, maybe Kiwi Lads 25K subscriber special of reacting to really old videos. That's something you guys will want to see. It will be an embarrassment fest, but I feel like I've started embracing the embarrassment. You know, it's a good kick downfield towards the 22. Now Kerwin Bosch returns fire with an even better kick from that man. Cottonmouth plus water equals amazing. Cottonmouth. As in, like, you put a cotton ball in your mouth with water? What happens if you swallow the cotton ball? And isn't that being, like, tipsy? Yeah, a little bit, being bevy heavy. I don't think I can say that with a straight face, bevy heavy. I love it, says Liam. Mm. Now it's kicked high. Slap back. Sharks taking it and driven backwards was nuts, yeah. I wish you could find that picture of you with the koala. Well, Sebastian, you may never. No, it's still on one of those streams from back in the day. It's also still on one of the hard drives, which I'm not sure which one. That's the one thing with YouTube that is very tricky, and that is organizing files. Because I have, I want to say over 10 terabytes of footage, maybe 15 terabytes, like probably over a year's worth of recording, all on different hard drives. And it's hard to go through it all. That's Vok Gamers, not water, says Just Carl. And no one eats cotton balls. No, they don't. I know it's a big bash stream. So many of them. Yeah, although last year we were poor with the big bash, or this year earlier on, weren't we? Hardly had any. I always find it funny that when I think about, oh, I hardly did any live streams or something over a weekend, and it's still like a lot. You know, like if I do any less than, like for instance, this weekend, we did 5 streams, including this one for the weekend. Like that feels like not many for us. Like we had 4 up till this stream, and I think that's why I did this stream as well, because I felt like I hadn't worked hard enough over the weekend. Even though, fun fact, we released more videos this week than we normally do. I think we released about 7, which I edited over a couple weeks. And dry mouth, when you are on Ritalin or smoke weed, you get a mouth dry. It's called cotton mouth. Ah, okay. I thought it was literally something like you put a cotton swab in your mouth or your cotton ball and you try not to swallow it. That sounds like a challenge on its own. Well, next day, waking up with a hangover, says Rooster. That is going to be an advantage now in favour of the Stormers. I don't know what's happened in this game for the Sharks, but she just doesn't seem like it's going well. It's kicked them on. Western Province, they're fighting themselves, but they almost just got themselves another try. Yeah. Cornell Smith chasing after that one. Really, Hammy? Hump, koala? Yeah, nah, yeah. Although with the koala, I mean, I only touched it on the back. You know, I was just letting it know I was there, but it took the wrong idea from that. There's a picture of me with some massive inflatable elephants. Oh, they've just fought over it. Miss Simler and Cornell Smith have actually knocked that ball out of each other's hands. So no downward pressure, no control over that ball, and it is going to be a no try for the Western Province. That is slightly unfortunate for them, even though I know I'm smiling at the moment, but yeah, not what they would have liked. Correct. That one, 9 comes in, tries to force it down. Oh, no press on the ball. They were playing advantage though. Okay. They are going to be going back. Oh, it's actually really nice of the ref. Wait, oh, okay, never mind. He was being nice because he wasn't actually going to be giving them a hand. saying about a tackle in one of those. The back of koala is famously a chlamydia heavy zone. Is it? Leave the koalas alone. Look, this picture was when I was like this tall, from ear to here. I had to be picked up to touch the koala. Oh, Diamani on the short side. Yeah, he's over the line. That's short, maybe though, by the time he reached out. Oh, but yes, this was when I was a young boy. I feel like if I showed the picture, it would clarify a lot of, or clear a lot of things up, but I don't know if the picture's on this drive that I have. I think it's on the one that ended up going boom. I have a lot of things that go boom. I feel like that's something I should look into. The fact that my Xbox went boom, my hard drive went boom, my girlfriend or the ex-girlfriend went boom boom with another bloke. That's on the line for Diamani. That will be the try. This looks good. Yeah, grounded on the line. Diamani scores the try, Western Province. Now going to have a 30-point lead. I mean, if the Sharks were trying to make it so that they face the Pumas rather than the Bulls, they've done a very good job, but now they're almost doing too good of a job that they don't know how to fix this. Diamani scoring again now 45 minutes through this game, and it is 25-0 turning into 30-0. Which is incredible, really, isn't it? Scoreline. 5 minutes remaining now. Be a tough kick for Yuri. And bloody Halloween parties, eh? So many vampires around. People take it too far with the sucking, says Sebastian. They do. They really do, unfortunately. But, I mean, it's one of those ones that, in a way, did I dodge a bullet? Probably. The funny thing about it, though, is the reason I was leaving it early was because we had a live stream to do. So I wasn't going to be able to stay there all night. I actually left the party at about, I think it was 10 or something like that, so that I could come home and then prepare for the 2 streams that we did later that night while they were doing the funky business. What are your socials, Grant? Says Liam. Great question. I'm not. Grant's a bit of a what's it called? Bit of a dark horse. Kind of like you don't know too much about him, but he's about, like a shadow. You know he's about somewhere. When the sun comes up, he's there, but then in the nighttime, he fades away. You most definitely dodged a bullet, mate. I'm convinced of it, says Sebastian. Yeah, she's only got like 1 or 2 months left of her pregnancy. Then she'll have a little bubba running around with the other fellow. I don't think a streaming schedule like this would be able to handle being a parent as well, would it? So yeah, definitely dodged a bullet with the lady. Oh, it's a bit of pace shown here for the Sharks. Now close to the try line, 5 meters out. I believe it was their left winger from Hale. Oh, it's not Dawn. Again, now Ruan now going for the chip in behind. And that's going to be deliberately knocked down by Cameron Wright. Go back for the scrum again. 32 points to 0. It was a brilliant kick from the sideline from Thierry. Foul play, or did he catch him on the jaw there? On Dylan Richardson. Not too much in it, they've said. Right, the time is off. They are going to go upstairs for it, though. I thought that was Richardson, but that's actually Khone Aral. Just going to be checking this one again for the Sharks. So Aral was charging at the line. Hit hard by Ruben van Heeren, but I don't think there was a huge amount in it. We did see Heinrich Lowe actually get himself a red card in the last game that was played tonight between the Bulls. Oh, there's a bit of contact on the air. I'm assuming this is going to be a penalty, but maybe they might say that it's a yellow card. There's their head contact. They are going to spend a little bit of time checking this one, see what they can work out. The Indians are currently still sitting 116 for 3, so they haven't lost another wicket as of yet for anyone who is following along with the cricket. Okay. Head contact, the answer is yes. I don't like the direction this is going. And whatever lefts after, or whatever left's after the party, I'll be there to collect the souls. Says Nick. I'm not active on social media. I just come on here to give Hamish for his mango obsession and his koala love. Now we need to stop. This cannot be a thing that is being put out there that I love. Well, I mean, koalas, they're all right, aren't they? But not to the level of mangoes, you know? Player was dipping. I hope this is just a yellow card if it is going to be any sort of card here. But the Sharks in the next 10 minutes, if they score 33 points, it's all on for young and old. Do we all agree? Sounds like it's just going to be a penalty for this one. Uh-oh, 3 white. Wait, 3 white, that's kneeling for share. So that's the captain. Yeah, kneeling for share says thank you to the referee as he says that it's not going to be a yellow card. I once got bitten by a vamp in my dream. Says Spider making party. Devil wants to dance. Says Blues Night. I was dressed as a vampire for the what was it? The prediction with Tim, wasn't I? Dressed up as a vampire for that one. Only 33 minutes remaining. That took a little while for the TMO to work out that one, but in the end, I think the right decision was made. It was a high tackle. Sharks now going to be able to kick this one for the corner and try and get their first points of the game. How many times in this Currie Cup have we seen the Sharks actually left scoreless for 40 minutes? I don't think it's happened very much at all. Penalty timeline, there were 5 in a row against the Sharks, but that is the first one against the Western Province since the 19th minute of the game. Right, Damon Finter about to throw this one in. And high balls should always be a penalty. It's rugby unless initial or intentional beheading. Says it was a rooster. And where can one watch this game online without a subscription? Says Yassine. Without a subscription, very difficult. Unfortunately, it's just one of those ones that a lot of them are subscription based. So you can catch the highlights. I believe they will have them on YouTube after the game. But unfortunately, in terms of without a subscription, is very tricky to be able to find. Sorry. The TMO is a former Western Province player. He better make the right calls. We know where he lives. Says Grant. Now the Sharks have got possession. Cameron Wright goes across to the left-hand side there. That was Dian Blula. Nice carry forward from the captain, Pepsi Buthelezi. The Sharks just need some points on the board now. Putkaita moves up now to 10 metres out. Cameron Wright goes off to the right-hand side again. Pepsi Buthelezi again. Taken down by Ben Jason Dixon. Sell the dummy there from Cameron Wright. Nailed in the tackle by Alistair Vermaak. Now, passed across. Putkaita. He will score the first try of the match for the Sharks. It may have taken 49 minutes. They got there in the end. Tell you what, if they made the comeback here, they'll be paying plenty of money. And the betting service, wouldn't it? That should have been at least a yellow card, says Benjamin Moore, although they have still been able to score a try off at the Sharks in the end. They said that the mitigation was with the fact that the player was ducking down. It mean that it did take it down from a yellow card to just a penalty. Although we have seen ones like that given as yellow cards in other games. So, you know, it's always one that heavily dependent on what the referees decide on. All 4 referees agreed that we're going to give it as just a penalty rather than a yellow. I can't believe we're almost into Halloween already. Like we're in the 6th month. We're 3 months away. Is that how maths work? No, not quite. When's Halloween? October. We're a little bit more, like 4 or 5 months away from Halloween again. 4, I think it is. 4.5. Balls. We can't keep the sardines scoreless, says Grant. What are we checking here? Are they checking to see if there was a drop ball here? Cameron Wright. Oh, no. I know what they're looking at. There was a knock on in the breakdown from, yeah, that's a knock on, unfortunately, against Gubera Rubala. I thought I saw it at the time and I didn't think anything of it because I was like, meh, it's all right. Jude used lady ref for all of the rugby games. Ladies honest, then men. Men too much corrupted, says Spider Mick. Yeah, Gubera Rubala unfortunately does push that ball forward. That is going to be a knock on, and the Sharks are still going to remain on the 0 points. Were they still playing under advantage? I don't think they were. That now means that the Western Province will have themselves their scrum feed 10 metres out from the line. Turn them a little bit there. I guess the big question is, do we open the Kerr package if Kerr's not here? I feel like we shouldn't really, should we? But then, yeah, it's just sitting there looking at me. No try, says Grant. And took a chunk of grass on the way to the try line, says Blues Nate. Handling are a 6 apiece between these two sides at the moment. 30 minutes remaining. Western Province, they have still got time to bring up a few more points on the board. We'll go like this. We'll go like that. There we go. Right, Paul the vet. About to put the ball in. So here's the replacement for Miss Simler. And show us the gimp mask sent you. Oh, he hasn't sent me no gimp mask yet that I know of. Unless it's in that one, of course. Yeah, we've got some goodies. Overall, we've got a Kiwi Lads merchandise drink bottle from. Look at that. It's not going to show it properly. That's actually the ad. What's the second? Yeah, see, it's yellow. Yeah, Kiwi Lads bottle. Very nice. 30 minutes remaining now. Second scrum of the second half, they have just mentioned. Western Province. Not too far out from their own line, so more than likely the option here is to get that ball out the back and then put it into touch. The bonus point there for the Western Province. So even with that bonus point, though, they still miss out on the top 4. They cannot make it through to the semi-finals, but they can certainly cause an upset here if they get the victory over the favourites, the Sharks. Big push there from the Sharks. Don't end up with the penalty, though. Now, big run forward from Cornell Smith. Oh, referee does very well to evade that chance. Marcel Tennyson charges up again. And now Paul the vet looking to roll this one back to put it towards the touchline here. You got to watch out for his long arms, though. Decent clearance. Goes down towards the 40-metre line. Pretty solid from where he was on the field there for Paul the vet. Still, the people in the crowd seem like they are enjoying it, although I believe they are all Western Province supporters. I don't know how much the Sharks supporters will be enjoying this score at the moment because at some stage they're going to have to take that 5 points back. Unfortunately, looks like Scudder into Benny making his way onto the field. Also Leon Lyons and also Mazibuko, another man who is making his way onto the field. That is to replace Johan Milling Fouchier, the captain. Who becomes the captain now? I assume probably maybe someone in that back line? Ronell? Short ball there from the Sharks. Cameron Wright. Tackling Fenta. Roller. Going off now with another offload. It is going to go back for Jansi van Rensburg. The ball actually sits up for Pepsi Butalezi. Moves up to the 22. Back to the right. Trying to propel his teammate forward there for the Sharks. One of those big props who just recently made his way onto the field. Andrew Jacobs, the ref, showed him some decent footwork, or showed some decent footwork to avoid being killed by Tennyson. Yeah, he had some quick feet, managed to do a little bit of it was almost a step and then to the side, wasn't it? And to dodge the oncoming traffic from the other way. Pretty tricky. And final round of the season, semi-finals next week. Here's Blues Nate. Yeah, we are hoping to cover it, although I know that the Ashes will be at about the same time, so we will have to try and balance them out. Come on, he's on the ball, says Cameron Wright. I don't know where Cameron Wright's from. I don't know if he's got a South African accent, but he kind of looks like he'd be English. Now give it a Rubala. So down in the tackle. You're holding him. Says the referee, he's getting sick of these two sides. He's like, just finished the game already. 10 phases. Sharks yet to get themselves any points on the board. Okay, got to go to work. Can we catch you later? Says Spotamik. We will see you later on, mate. We should be covering the World Test Championship tomorrow. Passing it into your own man, play on. And because of it, Cameron Wright has actually cost his team the ball. Now the Western Province back in possession. Ball the vet back into the pocket now for Matia to give it a boot. Nicely taken by Thaka Abrahams for the inside ball. Doesn't manage to find it. Doesn't go to Vernakok, who was waiting for it out on the right wing. I don't think he's had one carry yet, has he? Cameron Wright is a Safa and an awful scrum half, says Grant. Got plenty of leg tattoos on that right-hand side, though, doesn't he? Pretty much from calf to cock. Now, the right-hand side, Paul the vet. Diamani offloads it backwards to Matia again. Now the vet. Mazibuko moving up to 40 out. Continuing to march it just a little bit forward. Matia again. Another offload there. Paul the vet goes to Clayton Lumaki's run now. Quick heads from Willie Engelbrecht. We've hardly seen him as well. Now inside ball. The Paul the vet finds the offload up to run now. Finds another offload up to Ruben van Heeren, the referee. He did a brilliant dive there to be able to get the grounding. He's committed to his craft, that is for sure. Like they've just said, they don't think they've ever seen a referee slide quite like that to check the grounding, but Ruben van Heeren gets another try now for the Western Province. 5th Currie Cup try, he's loving it. I think he's already scored today, hasn't he? Van Heeren. Rohan now got that ball on the outside off to Engelbrecht, who had those quick hands, Lily and Zas. Then was able to find that pass to Paul the vet, who found the offload up to Rohan now, and they just kept that ball alive. And then Ruben van Heeren. Well, the referee. Perfect positioning to be able to see that ball go down. And now makes the score 37 points to nil. The scoreboard's a little bit broken. It's realized that it's going to be a bit more one-sided than anticipated. A lovely try, says Grant. Very nicely done as well. 5 from 6 so far for Matia throughout today. Just 25 minutes remaining. And it's not so much a question of will the Western Province win. It's a question of how much will the Western Province win by. The kick from it's gone over. And that try should be given to the ref. Perfect position to award the try. Here's Grant. Yeah, he slid right round, didn't he? Kind of reminded me of, you know how you see like ref or refereeing from wrestling? You know, like college wrestling in America, how they like slide round on their side to get the angle of like the shoulders and whatnot. Like that kind of reminded me of that. Or a referee in WWE sliding down to get into position to give it the 1, 2, 3. Now Killenbosch. It's off again for the Sharks on a day that just has not quite been theirs. That's going to be a knock on, though, from the Western Province. Not able to hand on to that one was Cornell Smith. They will go off to the left-hand side. Werner Koch going to Hanru. Jacobs. Robala. 4 extra meters found. It's definitely a WWE ref move, says Grant. Now Pepsi Butalezi. And now and again, Cameron Wright back across. Ugo Amedi. That ball's slightly popped out the side. Cameron Wright has to clean it up, but he has done not too badly. Looks like there might be some sort of finger or hand injury for one of the Sharks players. I believe that is Jacobs. Now, nice run from Pepsi Butalezi. Thought about the offload, but could see that it was covered. Big clean out there from Ben Jason Dixon. Cameron Wright to the right. Goes off to Raul. The Sharks, like there's been moments where they haven't looked bad in this game. It's just, unfortunately for them, something's just not quite worked out. Ball is out, play on. Referee once again manages to dodge the action. Thaka Abrahams has to play halfback. Cameron Wright almost looked frustrated that he didn't get to throw that one out the back. Now going to the right-hand side. Oh, that's big. That's a red card, unfortunately, I think. Falling in the tackle, okay, might be a yellow card, but I thought it was a bit high from being Jason Dixon. You could hear the slap of the chin of the player as well. I don't know whether they'll check this one. I don't know how he got up from that shot. Maybe the noise was deceiving. Oh, it's a big driving tackle. Charge down. Oh, the kicker, Kerwin Bosch, ball bouncing awkwardly. Let's go, says the ref. The Sardines will always look bad. Says Grant, and the penalty goes the way of the Sharks. Was that shot back there not as bad as I thought it was? It must not have been. We're going to see it here, I think. Oh, no, fair play. Got it into there. Hitting there and slid down in the end. So, yeah, fair play to Ben Jason Dixon for getting low enough. Not end up connecting high. Now, Kerwin Bosch kicking it downfield towards the touchline. Score is 39-0, not 5, says Bongili. Hey, as you said that, it changed. I did nothing. My hands were both here, but yeah, the scoreboard, I don't actually have any effect over it. Now, the question is, are you a Western Province fan who wanted that little bit more of a lead, or are you a Sharks fan who didn't want those points, seeing as they weren't awarded? I assume the Western Province fan part, that you wanted it to be a little bit more one-sided. And the pub is dry, says Fletchen. That was a very quick trip, Fletchen. In the time you were away, Western Province scored again. The Sharks throwing the ball in. Raul takes it. One's gone down pretty quickly from the Western Province, and the ball was stuck in there. So now the Western Province will be the side that ended up with another scrum in their favour. Tell you what, if they were in the semi-finals, they'd be looking real dangerous for next week because they are in some fantastic form in this contest. The Sharks, they'll be a little bit nervous for their game up against the Pumas. I would think the Cheetahs playing the Bulls. The fact that that game is going to happen again after it just took place, it's going to be a pretty awesome rematch, that is for sure. And it will be a Cheetahs home game for this next one rather than a Bulls home game when that one does take place. Anyone wondering about the cricket? Still 3 down for the Indian side at this point. Virat Kohli still at the crease, and Rahane also still out there. 20 minutes now remaining on the clock. Scrum feed for the Western Province, who have not quite finished scoring yet. I don't think they've still got plenty of time to be able to work another move. Maybe this back line here, set play off the scrum, the option that they go for. Vet, the ball in. Young Jared Taylor actually there at the back of the scrum. That one's gone down in the front rows. And we will have another scrum. I mean, it does look a little bit wet underfoot, but I don't think it's to the extent of the Sharks being 39-0 down. That Carlos Sadie is still out there on the park. Blula. Wait, how's Carlos Sadie still out on the park? What happened to Jacobs? Jacobs must have gotten injured. Or Jacobs, I should say, sorry. Scudder and Benny on the field for the Western Province. They'll be looking to hook this one back. Try and get them out of their own half. The time is now turned back on. Right. All the vet. The ball in. Vet now goes back across the Matia. Down towards the Sharks 22, taken by Thaka Abrahams. Now return fire with the kick of his own. Awkward, low bouncing one, but Matia able to control it pretty well. Now a skidding one goes to Thaka Abrahams. I think it's still, the turf is still rough from the monster trucks a while ago, isn't it? Where's Gareth Ferguson? I'm sure he would enjoy this game, says Grant. Yeah, nah. I don't know how keen Gareth would be on this one, unfortunately. This will be a game to forget for that man. Oh, Thaka Abrahams almost ends up doing his knee the way that he tried to kick that one down the park. Now, tie from Matia goes back down to Thaka Abrahams, who's decided he's not kicking anymore because he keeps on slipping. And there's a lot of crap. Well, this is a lot of crap. I'm a Province supporter. The Sharks throw on this game so they can play the Pumas. Hope they lose and the Cheetahs win the final, says Dion. And to lose this game this badly when they had a strong side in the lineup was a pretty surprising result. One thing's for sure, though, they didn't really want to face the Bulls, did they, in that semi-final fixture? Turf was messed up before the Monster Truck, sadly, says Grant, because they were talking about some new turf at some stage, weren't they? We're at the ground, but yeah, she's not looking flash. Anytime anyone runs, like ankles are getting close to being broken each time someone changes direction quickly. Be put high. Taken by Clayton Blomikis, gets it back across to the right-hand side. Mattia again. This time finds a little bit of space in mind. Thika Abrams thinks about letting it go into touch, but instead will now kick this one downfield himself. Taken again at the back by Mattia. At the moment, it's just Mattia versus Abrams. Those two are the only two touching the ball, but now a new man has found himself in the fray, and that was going to be the left winger. Some buck here, I believe is how you say it. And at the end of the season, the turf will be replaced, says Grant. So, yeah, hopefully before the new season starts, they don't have any more monster trucks out there tearing it up. Tie now for the Sharks. Slap back. They have got the possession back. Here comes Gurra Robala. Now Putgaita getting shut down instantly. The penalty will still be, the advantage will be, that will still be active. I feel like sentences, yes, they're going a bit rough, but they're probably not bad for 4:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. There's still room for improvement, of course, but yeah, not terrible sentences wise. Definitely because on that Brumbies Hurricanes game, I was slurring my words all over the place. This is just water, I swear. That eye is very bloodshot. Total lineouts 9-1 by the Western Province, 6-1 by the Sharks, just the one they have ended up messing up. 16 minutes remaining. Can the Sharks find themselves some points in this contest? Nicely taken by Gerbera Rubala. Taken down there by the Western Province. Was it legal? Yes, it was. They do say. Now, Jansi van Rensburg, another big shot on him by Ben Jason Dixon. You'd think those two don't like each other because that's the second time Ben Jason Dixon has smashed him. Now back across to the right. Nutshia. Great low tackle made on him. Take out the ankles now. Back across to his left-hand side. Wide cut-out pass now. Oh, Sabachie just goes into touch. And now, I think the Western Province will have themselves a scrum. The Brumbies versus the Canes game brought out the old chlamydia slur, says Grant. Is that actually a side effect of the thing? You start slurring words? I like to think it wouldn't be. You probably have a few things going interesting with your wee afterwards, but slurring words, not sure, you know? Maybe. Who knows? I had was it last week or the week before? I actually thought I forgot how to use sentences because I don't think it was for a live stream, but I was trying to, I'm forgetting now. I tried to film a video and I couldn't put a sentence together. I don't know if it was because I was like too tired and just couldn't talk, but yeah, a video that should have taken maybe 10 minutes to film took about 30 minutes just because I kept on messing up my sentences. And it got to the stage how it was actually at night. So I was like, right, I'm going to go on the treadmill for a bit, see if I can wake my brain up. And then I went on the treadmill, but the problem was I was bright red afterwards. So I couldn't do the videos because I looked like someone that pretty much just punched me in the head multiple times. So yeah, that was a bit of a unfortunate one. I had to film it the next morning. It was my fun story that no one probably cared about. 14 minutes remaining, Cape Town Stadium. And still a few people in attendance for this game. I'd say around 5,000 watching on for this game. Pathetic show from the Sharks side. Says Malumi, yeah, it just hasn't been what we've expected from them the rest of the season. Like, they've had 10 wins. Now this game, you know, talk about not building momentum into your next game up against the Pumas. They have done the opposite of what a lot of sides want to do because now you're in that scenario of the Pumas. They aren't a bad side at all in this Currie Cup competition. Very quickly, make sure I get their score right. Yeah, they were victorious over the Red by 10 points, 27 points to 17. So they've had a decent win recently, but yeah, next game's going to be the big one for them. See if they can turn it around. Now Clayton Blumikis kicks it in behind over the top of Werner Koch, who has been invisible in this game. As if it's been an extremely cold day. It was a bit of a cheeky joke. We won't worry about that one. Now, driven backwards again here for the Sharks. They are inside of their own half. I'd like to see them get some points, just as a bit of something, but I'd like to see them score it before we get to about 75 minutes, just so that it isn't considered as a sympathy try. I want them to still work a nice move. Werner Koch considers going for that quick throw, just not. Now the Sharks will have themselves the line out. I still remember the Sharks getting nailed or nilled in the URC this season. Here's Grant. No points to the Sharks. See, that's the thing. In the Currie Cup wise this year, I don't think there's been a half where the Sharks haven't scored a point, let alone a game where they have been kept to nil that I know of. I know that they've lost a couple games in their Currie Cup season, but I don't think any have been to nil, have they? I think most of them, they get some. But in the URC, yeah, when you see that happen, it's always a bit of a shock. Big run forward from Jansi van Rensburg, taken down by Cornell Smith. Now, what did they just say? I'm going to have to go back quickly. Okay, I went back too far. What'd they say? I'm going to fast forward, but they said something about the junior box. Okay, the under-20 team. I was confused at what they were talking about, but now I've worked it out. I was just trying to work out because they said the lady box as well, so I was trying to work out which comp was just around the corner. That's a big boot downfield. Western Province now taking this one inside of their 22. Clayton Blumikis tries to step, loses his footing, is almost tackled, but the missed tackle there means that he has now got the line break here. Clayton Blumikis looking for the support run. He has got at least one player there. It's going to be the youngster, Jared Taylor. Oh, he crawls over the line, scores the try. Oh, and he's not happy with Pepsi Buthelezi. Why does Jared Taylor look like he's had about 15 face surgeries already? Well, mate's got the Botox in, but that will be another try for the Western Province. No points for the Sharks. There's Grant there. But Jared Taylor. Interesting looking bloke. That was a great run from Clayton Blumikis after the slip. Still managed to just continue running. You can even see when he's running on the turf that it is ripping up as he moves. But then Jared Taylor does just slide over the line. Then Pepsi Buthelezi came in. And Taylor was not happy. 10 minutes remaining. The Western Province now looking to bring up the 50 points. They can score themselves another try and convert one of the two. This has been, what's the most ones? Oh, Currie Cup, was it last year or the year before that the Sharks and the Bulls played in the final and one of them won heavily? That was that the Bulls beat the Sharks badly, didn't they? Or was it the other way around? And what was the score in that? Because I believe that that was a record for the Currie Cup in terms of the biggest loss for the Sharks. Yes, boys, well done. Our little flowers and blowickies. One has missed away to the side. That will now make the score 44-0 at 70 minutes. The slip from Clayton Blumikis. I feel like everyone's just kind of incorporated that into their game at Cape Town Stadium now. It's as if you know that you're going to lose your footing, but then that's when you start to attack after you've lost it. Jared Taylor himself over the line in the end now has ended up with this ball again. Fortunately, the Sharks knocking that ball on off the kickoff again. Oh, being told to leave it, and Paul the vet puts the ball up high with the box kick. Nicely taken there by Fleurs. And come on, boys, get the 50 up. Great. I mean, they've got a pretty decent chance at this stage with the way that they have been attacking. Although the Sharks, I still feel like they've got a try in them, don't they? somewhere here in Trifest 50 plus maybe. Says Blues, Nate. And also Western Province, Bo. Says Willem now. Rolla now. Moving at 38 metres out from this Western Province line. Side who have been looking like a well-oiled machine throughout this fixture. It is a shame that we don't get to see them in the semi-final next week, because if we did, I think that there would be a real challenge for whoever came head-to-head with them. That ball's going to be kicked high. The mark is taken there by, was Matthias. And the Sharks, they went for a kicking option again. So it seems like they're just trying anything that they can. That is a massive kick downfield there from Matthias. Now the Sharks, they are the side that are back under pressure. So we will ask the question, but a simple yes or no in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Will the Western Province bring up 50 points? They have got 7.5 minutes remaining. Yes or no? Do let me know what you guys think. Do you think they've got one more in them? Or can the Sharks hold on? They've now got the line out throw. It is going to be Kieran van Veeren back out on the field after Damon Fenter has gone off. Back to Fleurs. Decent kick downfield. Yes, says Grant in all caps. Now collecting Blumekes. Kicks it downfield again. Now Fleurs. Use it the boot. And that one goes into touch. That's a decent kick. Do they take it quickly? Blumekes, I think he considered it. Did they do it in the end? I don't think so. Line out throw for Scudder into Benny. Looking for the towel. They got a towel? Yes, they do. Ruben van Heeren, though, they are showing him zoomed in. Maybe going to get himself the man of the match. The Sharks, not a bag of eggplants. They will be eating, says Grant. Do some people call it an aubergine, depending on where you are, or is an aubergine and an eggplant a different thing? Do let me know if anyone is familiar with the two. Now, Blumekes goes across again. Come on, boys, 50 plus, you can do it, says Willem. Back in by Kerwin Bosch, just outside of the 22 now for the Sharks. Back down the middle of the park to Clayton Blumekes. He's just walking at this point. Knows they've got it in the bag. Knows there was no kick chase. Well controlled at the back for Bosch, who now tries the low grubber, the skidding one. Rowan now able to clean that one up quite nicely. Now Mattia kicks it downfield, taken by Fleurs, who seems to have the best boot out there. Is it going to skid towards the touchline? Nope. Instead, it is going to be cleaned up by Cornell Smith, who will kick this one into touch. Didn't quite win the territory battle. That one will be about 30 meters out from their own line here. 5 minutes remaining in the Sharks. They have been looking better in this last little patch of the game. It is unfortunate that for the first 75 minutes, they weren't quite able to get anything really going. They had a chance at one try. Oh, standout player of the match is actually Yuri Amatia, due to the kicking. Eggplant in the USA, aubergine in the UK, and brinjal in South Africa and India. Brinal. I said that correctly the second time, hopefully. Brinal. That's the big yawn. Although it is almost 5 a.m. It's going to be an advantage now for the Sharks. That's something they haven't had in a little while as well. Now Rao breaking through. Quite find the offload after a good low tackle was made by Ruben van Heeren. Now Kieran van Veeren. You said it correct the first time. Oh, so it's Brinjal. Brinjal. I got too fancy with it, didn't I? Now, Blele. Van Veeren would have thought that his night was over a little bit earlier on, but then had to make his way back out onto the field. Now, Jansi van Rensburg. I mean, they've got the talent out there, the Sharks. It just hasn't really gelled. Well, that's on Kieran van Veeren. Big shot coming in on him. And the big thing for the Sharks now is to avoid injury heading into the next contest up against the Western Province. They are still under advantage. Now they will go back for the original penalty. Now the Sharks have to make a decision here. Do you take the 3 just to have some points on the board, or do you go for a big attack and play for the corner? I believe it will be the corner option that they do prefer. In this case, it is going to be tackler not rolling away penalty. That was against Connor Evans. Kicks not taken. 3 kicks available for the Sharks, 2 from the Western Province. So that still only would give them 9 points on the board if the Sharks had taken their 3 kicks. They could have. Kieran van Vieren throws this one in nicely to Rao. Kieran van Vieren ends up with the ball at the back. On sideways a little bit here, but the Western Province, they have defended that rolling maul extremely well throughout this contest. Van Vieren wrestled down 2.5 minutes left in this contest now. Currie digging around for that one. Sadi has the carry forward. Now Pepsi Buthelezi. Why didn't the Sharks just forfeit the game and stay at home? They knew that was going to be this, or they was going to be this bad. They should be banned from the Currie Cup for the next year, says Dion. Now, couple meters out. Sharks looking to use it on the left-hand side. Jansi van Rensburg throwing backwards. You don't see that too often for that man. Always an attack and runner of the ball. Putgaitsa the same. Now off to the right-hand side here. Well again. Back to the right. Here comes Raul. He's been pretty good since making his way onto the field, I have felt. Now only around 100 seconds left in this contest. They have now got themselves the advantage there for the Sharks. Robala has put the ball down, and that will be the advantage for offside, and it does go back now for the penalty. They still have 90 seconds to score the last try of this contest if they want it. Kieran van Vieren just going to tap this one. Looks like he is going to. Takes the tap, throws himself at the line alongside Putgaitsa. Out to the left, Carlos Sadie moves within 2 here. They walk away with 1 perhaps. In this contest, eggplant is unacceptable, says Sebastian there. Now Dion Fourie going off to Pepsi Buthelezi. Again, Kieran van Vieren getting close to the line now. It's been great defense, though, from the Western Province. We do have to give them credit for that. They have not really allowed the Sharks any momentum anywhere near the line. Now only a couple meters out. Still, they're looking for that first try of the contest. Looks like it might be Carlos Sadie who has the crack. Dragged down just short. Pepsi Buthelezi now around the side. Shut down by 3 players. Stay on side as the comment from the referee with 30 seconds remaining, up to 11 phases. They got it in them. Pepsi Buthelezi told to hurry up. It's almost held up in that process. Around the side again. Great power being shown by this Western Province defence. Do they go out wide? Good low drive from Blula. Like Skaran to Benny was the tackler there. Over. Oh no, just short of the line again. Trying to crawl it towards it. Also agreed, says Grant. There's the final siren. They have the Sharks. Oh, that was a hard knee to the face. Oh, the number 20, Robala. Now almost over again. This is just becoming repetitive at this stage. 17 phases. They haven't got through as of yet for 80 minutes. Are they going to be left tryless and scoreless in this contest? Or is this their chance? Pepsi Buthelezi again is just short of the line. Got to fire this out wide, don't you? Oh, it's a rough pass. The Sharks, that was a knock-on on the ground. The Western Province picked the ball up here. And the penalty goes the way of the Sharks. What about the knock-on, sir? A little bit of a push and a shove. Paul the vet thought about grabbing the collar of Fourie. Decided against it. That is going to be the penalty to the Sharks, though, who will now be able to go for another tap and go. And they have done just that. Now Blula still trying to get over 81 minutes through. A repetition at the moment for them. They're just going through the phases. Burn the clock. He needs to have a carry at some point. I don't know if he's had one throughout this game. It doesn't even look like a good Something like knob plant would have been more expectable or more acceptable, says Sebastian. Mm. See, I've never tried an eggplant and don't think I ever would. Now, there are a few fruits that I haven't tried, or vegetables. Eggplant, one of them. Another one is I've never tried beetroot. I've always been like, why is that a weird color, and haven't eaten it. Now, Rubala rushed the fence there from the Western Province, working out for them again. Geez, 44-0 dang, says Just Carl. At the moment, the Sharks, they're looking for 1 point. One try. They're up to 10 phases. So last 5 minutes or so, they have done about 30 plus phases. And just came back from the pizza place, says Just Carl. Right, around the side, someone's got to step up here and say, I'm going over the line. And I don't think it's going to be one of the forwards. Carlos Sadie, oh, he's crawled forward. That's going to be almost a penalty against him. But luckily for him, they have set play on. Stay on the line. Now they're going out wide. Bosch the quick hands and puts Gaita. Makes it so it's not a nil at the end of the contest. Okay, so the referee's saying he's apologising, so don't worry about trying to fight him. But it's one of those ones that he may be apologising, but he still hit him very late. Just because he's apologising doesn't always mean it's a good thing. That will be the first try for the Sharks of the contest. We're going to get maybe a 50-point contest between the two sides. Oh, yeah, nah, that's very late. That is dumb from Jared Taylor. I think this is going to end up being a yellow card to the youngster, Jared Taylor. Now the big question is, does this become a penalty restart? It's a penalty only. So I think because of that, it means that they do keep playing for a bit longer. Yeah, that's poor from Jared Taylor. This is probably going to be a yellow card, I would think, for his stupidity. Maybe even a red. It's a good way of getting yourself suspended before the next season. And how much time is left, says Just Carl. We are after the 80 minutes, currently sitting at 85 through. So they are going to have to check this one before the contest is over. Right. So he's coming really, really late. That's just a dirty play from the youngster. Like, he's already off the field. He still ends up getting flown in, and then the game is done like WTF. And also, there's no time left for a long time already. They're checking direct or indirect, but I think it is direct contact to the head. And the fact that it was after the try was scored, there is head contact. I think this is a rare card, to be honest, because there's no need for it. The way that he's flown in when the man's off the park, it's kind of dampened the victory, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of taken away from it a little bit because of that little play at the end. So it's going to have no impact on this game, but it may have an impact on Jared Taylor for his future couple games. And that should be a red. That was just dumb. There's Grant. Coated pretzel sticks in white chocolate for dessert. That sounds really good. Okay, the ref is saying what's this referee going on about? I think he's trying to just say it's a yellow card. You did mention he was an ex-Western Province player. Okay, they agree with the low degree of danger. A penalty and a yellow card, which means that this game's not over yet. It means that instead they have to keep on playing. Never trust a man whose lips stick out further than his nose. That is Jared Taylor. The chin's pretty out there as well. Right, so this might still get overruled to a red maybe in future time. And in the game already, says Just Carl. He is now going off the field. Jared Taylor, the commentators have said he's got him very lucky for that. The TMO is the next Western Province player. There's Grant. Right. Diving in on a player who's not even on the field after he scored the try and making it a 90-minute game like football, says Sebastian. Yeah, at the moment she's heading towards that because that now means that the Sharks, they still are able to go for one more play. Right. Gilwin Bosch from the touchline. Try and make this game 44 points to 7, and they've still got a chance of cutting down that gap just a little bit more now. Now, that one, we can't end it with the foul play, so they have to play again. There is going to be a kickoff from the Sharks. Yeah, he has to award the penalty on halfway. The Sharks can decide whether or not they want to tap this one. They're going to kick for the corner. This game is going to go for 90 minutes by the looks of it. We're up to 84 and a half minutes at this current point in time. You know what, he might be back out there on the field depending on how long his yellow card takes and how long this one goes. Can Western Province still make it to the playoffs? Unfortunately not. Even with the bonus point victory here, I believe they miss out by 1 point for going through to the Currie Cup semi-finals. At this stage, it is going to be the Cheetahs taking on the Bulls and also the Sharks taking on the Pumas. In fairness to the Sharks, at least they're going down swinging, says Sebastian. Yeah, they easily could have taken the quick tap there and then put the ball into touch. Instead, it looks like they want one last go, see if they can get another try here. Yancy Fans Rensburg, great run forward now from him. Fori gives it off to Carlos Sadie. Well, went backwards, says the ref. Rao, since coming on the field, he has been looking pretty impressive. Now that looks like it should be a Western Province penalty, and it is indeed. They're now 85 minutes through. All they need to do is take this tap, kick the ball into touch, which Clayton Blomekes does. And that is now confirmed. What we already knew, which was the two semi-finals, will be Sharks versus the Pumas and the Cheetahs taking on the Bulls. The Sardines probably think they can do a comeback. There's Grant. There as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning into this late night stream here on the channel, 5 a.m. here in New Zealand at the moment, which is probably getting close to bedtime as we are recording in the near future. So that will be good fun as well. So watch out for those videos. I don't know where George is uploading them, but they will be probably coming out in the next couple of weeks. My heart for the Sharks says Mercia in there, although they have still got their next game, which is going to be in the semi-finals. They will be going head-to-head up against the Pumas for their next one. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We have got a live stream hopefully tomorrow night, which will be Australia versus India in the World Test Championship final. Currently, India doing not too badly at all, cutting down those runs that they are going to be needing. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.